Hey guys, it's Allie again. In my last video, I talked about how I tracked my media usage for 48 hours and that for my 72-hour fast, I was going to take out Netflix, Tumblr, limit my email checking, and then also stop using my CTA train and bus tracking apps and everything. So, Netflix and Tumblr was definitely difficult for the first day. I was like, oh man, like I'm so bored. Like I kept trying to go to my Tumblr to like check it, see if anything was new. And I was like, and I had to stop myself all the time. Sometimes I'd like open it and, shut it really quickly. And then Netflix was just kind of sad because I had some time to kill. And by time to kill, I mean I had homework to do that I didn't want to start. So I had to, do my homework, which was different. So that was kind of difficult, but by the end of it, I didn't really think anything of it. I just kind of stopped using those things. And like I said, I don't, like I go on Facebook a good amount, but not really that much. So those are things that I could definitely see myself cutting down on later or, cutting out completely. I just I don't really see the need to cut them out completely at this point, but it was kind of nice to not have like something else to like drain my battery or things like that. Just a time waster. I did have a lot more time on my hands, I realized. So that was definitely interesting. I decided to limit my email checking to only 3 times per day, and I got to choose when I wanted to do that. So what I would usually do is before I'd leave for class in the morning, I would check my email because I've been that kid who shows up to class and finds out that it was canceled all along. Luckily that didn't happen, and that wasn't gonna happen anyways. So I did it then, and then usually during the middle of the day, and then closer to like 10 o'clock at night or something, because I usually don't get emails after that. So that actually wasn't really bad at all either. That was another thing where it was my first reaction to go check my email, and I'd have to stop myself. But once I got in the habit of that, that's pretty normal. So I probably am not going to check my email all the time because I didn't miss out on anything. I didn't really miss anything important, just like kind of like I thought I would. I don't get that many important emails to begin with. So that was pretty good. Definitely the hardest part was actually taking out my CTA bus and train trackers. That was just a complete disaster. I ended up being late to class for my downtown ones that are early in the morning, and I thought that it'd be better to like wait for the bus, and then the bus wasn't coming because sometimes it'll take like 25 minutes for the next one to get there. Just randomly, like it just works out like that. And so then I start walking to the L, and then the bus drives by, and I was like, oh my god, I should have been on that. And then I was waiting for the L, and luckily there weren't any construction problems going on that day, but that's another reason why it's really helpful, because I'm kind of between the bus and the train, and so like, I have my two backups. And then the next day, actually, I was somewhere else, like before I was going to work, and I needed to hop on the bus, which usually like I know which bus I need to take. I just get on, like I know the different stops, but I didn't know that construction was going on. So I was waiting for this bus forever. It comes and it like takes a turn, like takes a detour right in front of me, and I miss it, and I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. And so I ended up having to call my boss to like explain what was going on because I know that she takes that bus and I couldn't check for it. So that was really, really frustrating. I got there on time, but it was a total hassle and it really stressed me out. So um, I'm gonna definitely continue using my trackers because they just make my life that much easier. Um, but overall, like it pretty much worked out because I was running out of my data because the internet at home went out, so I was using my phone for everything. So this was like a perfect time to limit my data usage on my phone. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. But something interesting also happened during this fast. I didn't take out my texting or anything, but there was one day that I just happened to not respond to a few text messages, and I got 3 different people thinking that I was dead because I didn't respond, and they were frantically calling me and calling other people because I had my phone on silent, and I hate texting anyways, so I totally forgot to respond to those, and then it was on silent, and it was a whole big thing, and I was just, wondering what would have happened if I had taken out my texting. Like, then they really would have been worried if I, like, cut out my phone completely, and it just kind of showed me how reliant me, like, my friends and my family are on our phones and having that constant communication, because especially my mom, I was like, she it was like 3 hours that I hadn't responded to a text message, so she just assumed I was dead, and I was like, how long is she gonna be doing this? I'm an adult already. So that was definitely interesting to have that happen during this fasting experience. Definitely glad I didn't take out the texting, because would have had more worried phone calls. But overall, it was good in some ways and bad in other ways. But it definitely showed me, that we don't need to be so attached to our phones or Netflix or things like that. There's so much more time to just get other things done that should be done. I was able to tidy up my room a bit more because I had extra time on my hands and talk to people face to face instead of through the phone all the time and things like that. So it was a pretty good experience, and I'm glad I did it. Okay.